Duchess.
Happy New Year, friends. My name is Gregory, and I want to share life in the Bahamas from the perspective of a local. I adopted a dog from the Humane Society and named her Duchess, and most of my content will revolve around the two of us. The weather isn't always this nice and warm, so I waited for a sunny day this January to heat up some water and give her a bath. I hope that my content here is a soothing respite from your days, wherever you are and whatever you're going through. I'll try to upload as much as time permits, and if you are interested in following me or purchasing a photo print, please click on the website in the description and subscribe to this channel. Thank you. Life in the Bahamas is as interesting as anywhere else. I've traveled a fair bit, but not as much as I would like. When I was younger, I wanted desperately to leave this place and never return, because it seemed like there was a whole big world out there ready to be explored. Here's a photo of me in 2004. I was 19 years old teaching English and drama to 5th and 6th grade summer students in Tanzania, on the east coast of Africa underneath Mount Kilimanjaro. These kids must all be in their early 30s by now and probably have their own children. It's funny because at 40, I don't feel that old. But circumstances led me to return here, where I've stayed for the past decade or so, and I feel like I'm finally starting to fit in. During bad winters, it can get into the 50s Fahrenheit, but for the most part, as long as the sun is out, it stays usually in the high 60s to low 70s at night. Duchess really doesn't like getting her bath, and she'll often try to bite me or run away, and over the years I think she's gotten used to my insistence on trying to keep her clean. I try to make it as quick as possible for her. Duchess, come. Nope, 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 nope. No. After years of watching some really great YouTube content creators, I decided to get into longer form content, and let me tell you, there's a steep learning curve, for me at least. Even if you have some experience with editing software, cameras, or audio equipment, video production is time consuming. However, I just think life is too beautiful here not to share, even in the dead of winter when things are windy and gray. There's always something interesting to record. Hopefully my attempts inspire you to create some content of your own.
You don't seem really happy, Duchess, but I had to bathe you.
I love trying to understand how people far away from me get by day to day, and YouTube is a powerful tool for that. I decided to get some sapodilla from the tree outside my neighborhood. It's pretty delicious. These are the seeds, and it's pretty hard for me to grow them, but I've managed to get 2 young trees to grow from this tree. My father died in 2021, and since then I've been in a single-handed remodel project of what used to be his house but has become mine. There's so much to do around here. It was all carpeting throughout, and so I had to rip that up because it was from 1969 when the house was built. I also have a termite problem and a roof leak. This is a photo of my father in 1959 when he was 21, 9 years before he built this house. A lot has changed since then. This is my office where I edit the videos and print my photos. I still have to replace the sheetrock ceiling, which was damaged. But my main issue right now with this house is that the cast iron plumbing was giving me some problems. So I removed those pipes over the course of 7 months by myself. At the time, I was just trying to keep myself busy, so I didn't have to concentrate on all of the loss around me and focus on creating something new. I also didn't have the money to pay a professional plumber to do it for me. So I usually take the dog to the beach where I can use the public toilets because I lack them at home. She really enjoys barking at strange people. This is Saunders Beach, and I wouldn't call it the best in Nassau, but it's nearby and that's good enough for me. She gets to have her walk and I get to use the bathroom. I have some goals for 2025. My main goal is to get the plumbing work finished so I can put the house on the market for people seeking short and long-term homestays on platforms like HomeAway, Airbnb, VRBO, that type of thing. I still haven't figured out where I will actually live. Probably in my car on the beach, but hopefully it doesn't come to that. Another goal I have is to be able to take you, my audience, with me, traveling around the Bahamas by mailboat, light aircraft, ferries, and my trusty kayak. Most people who come here think the capital city, Nassau, is the Bahamas. I'd like to get the channel to a point where more ambitious things are possible. I love to kayak, and there will be some of that coming up soon. I have some thoughts about my life and what challenges I have to overcome in order to achieve these goals. And I'd be interested in hearing about your challenges too. My mother died 4 years before my father, and my brother died last year. So aside from some much younger siblings who live abroad, it's just Duchess and I for the time being in this house. There's a lot of content out there featuring slow living or the off-grid lifestyle. I'm not off-grid, but I probably fall more into the category of slow living. Still, I wonder if it's possible to live a more contemplative life where I have more than enough time to read and write about things that interest me. Call it another goal of mine. "11 years ago, a high school classmate of mine died from complications related to a rare genetic illness he lived with. Ever since his death, I've had to modify the way I live my life, changing my definitions of success and progress, because I'm living with that same disorder. Basically, my red blood cells, the ones that provide oxygen and other nutrients to the tissues of my body, only live about 2 weeks. In a healthy person, they can last up to 3 or 4 months. So my body is working a little harder to keep me walking and talking and enjoying life. In addition, I can have times of extreme physical pain from those red blood cells becoming like shards of glass and jamming up my blood vessels and joints. There is a treatment that's basically a cure, but it costs $2 million and I don't have that at the moment. Nor do I have health insurance as I work for myself, making videos like this one. It involves the gene editing process known as CRISPR. For the time being, I'm surviving off of donations from generous friends and Red Cross meals during the weekdays. Anytime you see a video of me doing something like kayaking or even mundane things like raking leaves or washing the dog, just know that it comes as the result of great effort on my part. I thought that this channel could be a warm weather analog to the content creators in Northern Europe and Russia that I follow. And hopefully it cheers you up if you're experiencing anything like seasonal affective disorder or living in a cold, snowy place. I thought I would take you for the remainder of this video on tours of those smaller islands. It's calm enough. For someone in my circumstances, what I'm about to tell you next might sound either alarming or ambitious, depending on your personality. For some years now, I've been thinking about kayaking from Nassau, where I live, to a place called Current Island in the north of Eleuthera. My family originally comes from central Eleuthera, and there are still people who I share a last name with living in those settlements. I chose Current Island because there is a chain of small islets and coral reefs and sandbars that go all the way from where I live to the finish line, and I could potentially camp out on them if I need a rest during my journey. I've already been to some of the islands to the east of New Providence in my kayak, but never anything this far east.
You see the beach? Good girl. Oh. Absolutely gorgeous. So beautiful.
I was talking about my plan with some people who have traveled that route by boat, and they discouraged me. The ferry takes about 6 hours to get there, and I figure I go 10 to 15 times as slow as a ferry. So whatever that equates to, probably 3 or 4 days. Like I said, I've been sitting on the idea for some time. It's a 38-mile long journey one way, and only about 40 people live on Current Island, maybe less now since the last census data was from 2010. This is Athol Island. In the 19th century, it used to be a quarantine for the city of Nassau. Basically, sailors would be dropped off there and they would be watched until they either got sick and died or they lived and would be let into the city. I want to thank you so much for watching this video and subscribing. It has been an amazing journey over the last few years. If you feel like supporting my work, please purchase a photo print or support me on Patreon. Thank you for watching.